Hiya humans, how's it going? I'm Gonzo Agogo. Today we're talking about the death of the old gods. This is about how legacy media lost control over the flow of information. Legacy media just refers to everything before the internet. You've got to bear in mind that this was our main way of getting information. Other than like speaking to your family and friends, this is how we learned about the world.
Today we're going to look at the latest burger boom.
You watch TV, you listen to the radio, you read a newspaper. If you're really interested, you'd even go to the bloody library.
They're called books. They require a little effort on your part and make no beep 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 beeps.
Libraries are great though, you know, we should have more of them. Stop closing bloody libraries. I mean, I'll go through like the average day of a teenager. Get up, you'd listen to the morning radio, you'd have breakfast, you'd go to school, they'd tell you a load of shit, you bunk off with your mates, they told you the shit they heard from their dads. And you go home and you'd watch the telly. You'd have an hour of kids programs, then the bloody news, then you'd read a book, and then you'd go to bed. I mean, if I spoke to my 8-year-old self, yeah, and I told him I don't watch TV anymore, he'd be bloody flabbergasted. But in these brief moments when you're actually consuming media, you had a very curated view of the world. We just didn't have that many options. Information was a little bit harder to get hold of. It was either our imagination or glue ourselves to the box. Both were fun times, mind you. Fast forward to 2024. The floodgates are bloody open. You've got the propaganda machine pumping out all of its shit for as much as it's worth, but it can't come fast enough for the realities of what's actually going on.
To my mind, there's only one way to describe those marches. They are hate marches.
Didn't always used to be like this. We got to remember that media is a tool, yeah? Good media affects your emotions.
We won't tell nobody.
Think about a song that moves you to tears, or a movie that makes you laugh out loud. Think about how advertising changes how you use your buying power. By manipulating a person's emotions, you can influence their decision-making processes. That's, the whole point of advertising. Hey, look at this shiny thing. Buy me, buy me. And so then you do. The other way we use media is as an information spreading tool.
Can I have some?
Get your own.
Take that, you bitch!
It could be educational like BBC's Planet Earth, or it could be informative like the news. They still play by the same rules by manipulating emotions to get a desired result. A news corporation has two reasons to manipulate you. One, it wants you to watch. It has stories that's designed to keep you watching.
If it feels like living in Britain is like living in a foreign country, that's because it is.
These massive media conglomerates are also owned by people with agendas.
I'm Rupert Murdoch, the billionaire tyrant.
And it's these agendas that can change the narrative. The government are all too aware of this and utilise these main sources of communication to inform or disinform the public of the nature of how the world is.
I know that you are taking every precaution to avoid harming civilians.
More than 100 people are reported to have been killed in Gaza as they tried to reach a convoy carrying food aid.
But now the internet's come along, it's blown away these borders. You no longer have this very curtailed view of what's happening. It's curated view. More people have a broad understanding of current world events. And quite honestly, I sickened how our governments are handling international affairs. The government has an agenda that it wants to carry out.
I'm so bloody rich!
To get away with this dirty business, it likes to portray a view of the world that allows it to continue doing what it's doing. This is the illusion of democracy. Anyway, I digress. We still have a curated view of the world, but it's now curated by ourselves. And oh my days, we're hungry for the truth. With the rise of disinformation, you have to start thinking about where your news sources are coming from. Who owns these things? What's their agenda? Why are they telling me all this crap? What's their bias? Are they controlled by the government? Are they pushing stories that the government prefer? Are they burying stories because they want to hide, the reality of things? This is why we should protect our freedom of speech at all costs. Look around, they're stripping rights off us left, right and centre. It's not on, man. It's not on at all. The right to protest is important. Everyone's complaining about how Just Stop Oil is a bloody nuisance. What a load of bollocks. Just Stop Oil are exercising their democratic, peaceful right to protest. like the alternative is non-peaceful ways of protesting. So I think we should just let them carry on doing what they're doing, to be honest. It's about knowing where your news source's intention lies. Is it to inform me? Or is it to manipulate me? Or is it to like perpetuate this narrative that their bosses have? Become very jaded in my old age. You've got to take all of this on board and think about how this compares to your own ethics. You use the information that you're given to make decisions. Use any information from any source and match that up to your ethics. And hopefully you'll make some good decisions in your life. But saying that, you've got to be wary of your own bias. Make sure you have a broad view of the world. Don't just think about the shit that's going on in your little pocket. Think about how someone else thinks about the world. Think about what their motives and drives and ambitions are compared to yours. Somewhere in the middle, we've all got to meet up, and agree how to run society in a better and more functional way. So why don't we do that? This has been Gonzo a Go-Go. Thank you for joining me if you got this far. This is a new way of me filming this crap. I'm on a learning journey, and I figure perhaps I should just do away with a fucking script. So I've done that. Let me know what I've done in the comments. And if you can be bothered, like and subscribe, my dudes. Peace!